Australia's 3 million superannuation tax has crystallized into the defining policy battle of this parliamentary term, with political battle lines drawn not just between parties, but across the entire political spectrum. The data reveals a remarkable consensus opposition that transcends traditional political boundaries. Coalition Deputy Leader Ted O'Brien definitely statement, "We will oppose this unfair super tax every step of the way," represent more than partisan positioning. It's reflect deeper concern echo across crossbench. Independent MP Sally Steggall warns of stifling effect on innovation, while National Senate Leader Bridget McKenzie predict bracket creep scourge, affecting future generation. Even newly elected independent Nicolette Buller signals like opposition citing constituent concern about unrealized gain taxation. This isn't a typical political theater. When three different political traditions, coalition, crossbench independents, and rural representatives converge on identical technical concern, the policy design flow and demand serious examination. The mathematical reality behind political rhetoric tells a sobering story. Treasury project affecting 80,000 Australian currently, but Independent Financial Service Council modeling suggests is 500,000 could eventually be captured, a six-fold expansion driven by the policy deliberately non-indexed threshold. Labor MP Jerome Laxell defends describing this as a very modest change affecting 0.5% of Australians, reveals the fundamental disconnect between current impact and long-term consequences. His comparison of 14,000 concession versus 13,000 concession obscure the precedent-setting nature of taxing unrealized capital gains. Prime Minister Albanese assertion that we need to make sure our superannuation system is fair addresses legitimate inequality concern. The data support this. Australia's superannuation system disproportionately benefit high earner through 41 billion in annual tax concession. However, Greens Senator Sarah Hanson-Young pushed for lowering the threshold to 2 million, demonstrate how equity argument can justify every expanding tax capture. A technical challenge on realized gain taxation cannot be dismissed through political rhetoric. When Wilson Asset Management estimate 8 million Australians could eventually be affected, and farming representatives highlight cash flow problems for asset-rich, cash-poor landholders, these aren't scare campaign. They're mathematical projection based on compound growth assumptions. International evidence provides stark warning that transcending domestic political positioning, of 38 OECD countries, only 5 maintain wealth taxes today, down from 12 in 1996. France experienced generated for 3.6 billion while causing 7 billion euro in economic losses. Norway 2022 experience saw 50 wealthy individuals immigrate, create 594 million revenue loss against 146 million projected gains. Australia's approach differed through its superannuation infrastructure, potentially avoiding administrative disaster that plagued European experiments. However, behavioral response among mobile, wealthy taxpayers remain consistent across jurisdictions. The question isn't whether Australia can collect this tax more efficiently, it's whether the economic distortion justify the revenue gains. Treasury's 2.3 billion annual revenue projection must be weighed against potential investment flight, reduced economic activity, and administrative complexity costs that haven't been fully quantified. The Senate crossbench hold decisive power, with David Pocock and Jackie Lambie expressing skepticism about technical design. Greens Senator Hanson Young acknowledged that we want the threshold lower to 2 million and indexed, reveals how these policies could evolve beyond current parameters through parliamentary negotiation. The proposed July 2025 implementation appears increasingly unrealistic given legislative uncertainty and administrative requirements. Industry submission consistently emphasize extended consultation needs, while the ATO must develop entirely new systems for tracking unrealized gain across multiple funds accounts. This policy transcends immediate revenue generation or affected individuals. It established precedent for wealth taxation, unrealized gain treatment, and government reliability that will influence Australian economic policy for decades. The convergence of opposition across political traditions, from coalition fiscal conservatives to crossbench innovators to rural representatives, suggests deeper technical flaws that partisan position can explain. Whether this represents progressive reform or policy overreach depends on implementation details that remain actively contested across industry, academic, and political spheres. The ultimate test isn't just collecting 2.3 billion annually, it's whether this policy enhance or undermine Australia's retirement system integrity and economic competitiveness in an increasing mobile global economy. This is Miko Santos. This is Inside OSPO.